So saying goodbye to Coleman, end of a week on the road. I'm going through Oregon right now. It's so beautiful here. You can still hear the freeway. I'm at a rest stop. Some of the most beautiful rest stops along the West Coast, California, Northern California, Oregon and Washington. I'm sure other places have good ones too, but it really is gorgeous, even though you get the ambient sound of the cars and lorries driving by. Anyway, this is a little introduction. I think it's time for a Mazzy's mix. Show you records I picked up in Portland and San Francisco. I feel a little, maybe there'll be a feature in there. I don't even know yet because I'm not home. I'll be home in a day or so, but it's been a good week. Kind of a spiritual, personal zen of travel and driving. I just love it. I love it. Anyway, I really appreciate the support. I really liked, I hope you enjoyed the four guys sitting around talking music. Those are buddies I've known for a long time, especially Brooks since the 70s. Ron and Mark I met in 1988. They're two art directors, and Mark does some directing and producing for environmental films, independent documentaries now. And Ron is a great art director and a good music buddy. And I thought about as we were doing that to pattern that after My Dinner with Andre. If you don't know that, Google My Dinner with Andre, an independent film, two guys eating dinner in LA, I believe, or was it New York? I don't remember now. Wallace Shawn was one of them, and just talking, and it's really interesting, almost dramatic, and spiritual, and introspective, and interesting. I wish those guys lived close to me because I'd love to do a series of those. My Dinner with just four guys talking about music shit and do different genres. Anyway, my hand is freezing now. It's 36 degrees, and I'm out here without any gloves. So I'm gonna get in my car and head up towards Portland and then beyond. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. So I'm somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, and I think there's a serial killer coming out of the bush. If you don't see this message, okay, look at this. I think he's the Unabomber's cousin, or with a sickle, the I-5 killer or something. Anyway, I decided to do the new record, the Mazzy mix, on location in the Pacific Northwest at another rest stop. I'm just too excited. These are nothing special, these records. Well, actually, they are special records, but they're not rare records. They're not used rare records. They're not high-end audiophile. Now, I just got to say, this whole mobile fidelity audiophile, there's like 60 pre-orders. You have to call in, give them a secret passcode, put your PIN number, and then they, out of the kindness of their heart, they allow you to order 17 box sets of Van Halen records that are 45 RPMs in a fucking box. Really? Come on. Actually, I did order the Warren Zevon records, the first two records, because they're amongst my favorite records. So, and Miles Davis Smiles. That's it. But these box sets, you know how I feel about that. Audiophile craziness, maybe, and just people just have to get this box set. Anyway, Skeletor. Oh, I think the Yeti's behind me. Yeah, Yeti spotting. Okay. Selector. Every time I see this, I say Skeletor. Okay. This is, they're a sponsor of Women in Vinyl, and at some point I'm going to do an interview with the women of Women in Vinyl, and it's a great organization. They have podcasts. It's to support women in the vinyl industry, so please support it. I have several friends sort of involved, one good friend, and then sort of friends of friends. And this is one of their sponsors, but this is a cool bag. I'm just using it. This belongs to the archivist, and I borrowed her copy, but I think I want one myself. The original Selector in green and black. I don't know if they come in colors, but it's a really lightweight package that's not just one of those little bags. So, and it's got a little pocket. Okay, so rest spots can be crazy. Families arguing and all that stuff. So, okay. Some of these you've seen if you saw my whack-a-mole at Amoeba, but just to show you what I actually did buy. 50th anniversary of Fela's London Scene. I've heard this record years ago, but I don't have a copy on vinyl. Courtney Barnett, this is the one that reminds me of the Tina Brooks Blue Note cover with these various colors of blue. I think that is not on purpose, that a double negative. Love Courtney Barnett from Australia, kind of indie punkish, but really great performer. Saw her live only once, but love this. I haven't listened to it yet. All Eyes on the Pavement Blue by Courtney Barnett. Beach House Bloom, this is an earlier album of theirs. They have a new album coming out. This is an older record, but this is a reissue on Sub Pop, and I love Beach House, kind of dream pop band. I'm tripping over my lips here. I do not have this title. I have four to five other dream pop albums by Beach House. This is called Bloom. I'm waiting for the axe to drop. Okay, so let's put these away. Then in Portland, Oregon, I just got a couple records. And again, these are things I can get in Seattle or I can order online. But you know, when you see it, and these are two records I've been dying to pick up from the Jukebox series, the in-studio concert series during the pandemic of one of my favorite artists, Lucinda Williams. And this is Lucinda Williams doing Bob Dylan. It's called Bob's Back Pages and Nights of Bob Dylan Songs. Love her grovelly voice. Sounds like she has marbles in her mouth, but great stuff. Love her. I try to pick up everything of Lucinda Williams. The Jukebox favorites. And the other one is In Studio Concert Series Volume 4. There's a whole series of these. These are the only two I have. And this is Funny How Time Slips Away, country classics like by Willie Nelson. It's got Together Again, Make the World Go Away, Nightlife, Long Black Limousine. Love that song. Funny How Time Slips Away, The End of the World, Gentle on My Mind. A great song by Hey Babe, You Want a Boogie Guy. Ask John, Digital Gramophone, about Hey Babe, You Want a Boogie. John Hartford, he wrote that great song, Gentle on My Mind. How can the same person record this beautiful Gentle on My Mind and then Hey Babe, You Want a Boogie, Boogie, Woogie, Woogie with me? So, the end of my trip, I'm almost home, and I just want to say thanks everyone for being supportive. There's more stuff going on here because, again, these Mazzy mixes I do, this could be a feature, but again, this is the last time I think on these videos I'm going to show. Maybe not. What the fuck? It's my set of videos. The Coleman card from the Coleman collection. And we had a great memory of Coleman and his band, former band, Pride and Joy, played I Love Can Take You Higher, the great song by Jackie Wilson. So we'll see you there. I want to make sure the coast is clear. No Yetis and no I-5 stranglers. Hey, so since I'm recording this on November 19th, 2021, I couldn't get through this Mazzy's mix without doing a little, just a mini tribute to the photographer Mick Rock, who just died over the last day or so. Mick Rock was sort of considered the man who shot the 70s, had a glitzy, in-your-face style, very colorful for the most part. British art school graduate who befriended Syd Barrett. And I'm just going to showcase several of his albums that I have. I don't have here, he photographed Blondie and Joan Jett and so many others, even some contemporary artists too, but died at 72 years old. And some of his photographs and artwork, sometimes art direction. He also filmed some documentary music video type of concert footage as well. So I did see at the EMP, the Experience Music Project, several years ago, which is now in Seattle called the Mopop, Museum of Popular. I like the EMP better. A photo show of Mick Rock's photograph, art directed. This also Syd Barrett record. of course, a plethora of David Bowie, and these are just a few of the images that appeared on album covers. So if you don't know the name Mick Rock, I mean, if you don't know the name Mick Rock, you've been hiding under a rock. David Bowie, pinups with Twiggy. Worked extensively on the Ziggy Stardust tour. Of course, look at this shot. I mean, raw power, the Stooges, Iggy Pop. What a fantastic capture moment. A lot of concert photography as well, a lot of show photography. Lou Reed's second solo album, Transformer, probably his most famous. And we art directed this Mott the Hoople record. This was with All the Young Dudes, produced by David Bowie. There you are. Concert photographs. And End of the Century, the Ramones. Now, there are plenty of others. 2 CDs, and one, you know, these are very famous. Obviously, these 2 Queen albums. This became so iconic, they used it for their Bohemian Rhapsody video. It was sort of the stage set for that. Very influential by the photographer Robert Freeman, who did the cover of With the Beatles, that sort of silhouette black background. So the loss of Mick Rock. I love showcasing photographers and the artwork of record albums. So this is a mini tribute. Seek out Mick Rock. There's a ton of a handful of books on his work, showcasing his work. So another lost artist, Mick Rock, 72 years old. Okay, so I finally got home from San Francisco the other night, 2 nights ago, 1 night ago, whatever it was, and yesterday. You don't care. You're watching this. Who knows when you're watching this? And there was a bunch of packages waiting for me, and I got a package from Dave, Local Bandography in North Carolina. He has a great channel. He has into avant-garde, a lot of jazz, Sun Ra, weird shit, punk shit, out there shit. But Dave, Local Bandography, Local Bandography is named because he also does some a videography of bands, local bands. So you should check his channel out. There'll be a link below. But 3 years ago now, maybe, he turned me on to this record he showed. And this is Enrique Matafusco. And this is a Spanish singer. I think he was in a couple of punk bands, but this is a very beautiful, heroic record. It almost seems like Dave, I can't believe you like this record. It's so fantastic. I play this record all the time still, and you only can get it in out of Spain as far as I know. Diagonal Enrique Matafusco. It looks as heroic as this album cover, and it's just, you know, all Spanish language, Spanish singing, and it's a gorgeous record. Love it. But Dave sent me a package that included this record, Colin Shepley Galaxy. It's a cover of Beatles songs. Kind of a jazzy trumpet, sax, piccolo, flugelhorn thing. Herbie Hancock does play on this record. This was once owned by Bernard Purdie from the Bernard Purdie, the musician collection. So it's his collection. I haven't listened to it yet. Kind of funky Beatle cover stuff, my guess is. So thank you for this, Dave. And 245s. I hardly have any jazz 45. Maynard Ferguson jam session featuring Maynard Ferguson on an MRC label, side 1 and 2, part 1 and 2. And I'm a huge fan of Chet Baker, a great trumpet and vocalist, jazz, soothing stuff. Check out the Chet Baker Sings if you don't have that record. It's fantastic. But Chet Baker Quartet, Imagination on Pacific Jazz, and Russ Job. So Local Bandography, thank you, Dave. And I came home to some records. I think I showed this. Some of these I got on the road. Now they're mixed in. So Courtney Barnett. You know what's interesting about this? I think it's kind of cool. I don't have it here. But it looks like that True Blue Tina Brooks album on Blue Note. Obviously that, just because it's a lot of splatters of blue. I got the new Robert Plant, Alison Krauss. Haven't listened to these yet. I'm just jumping back into listening to music. I love the first one, of course, was it Raising Sand, produced by the great T-Bone Burnett. And there's various cover concepts. I think this cover's kind of shitty, to be honest with you. I don't like this cover. I think it could have been really interesting. And I hate to call out who designed it because I don't like the cover. So I'm not going to call you out. Sorry, don't like the cover. It's on Rounder Records. Horrible design. I did show on the road, if you saw, well, of course, you're watching this, so you already saw the Lucinda Williams series of the Jukebox series in Concert Series Volume 5 Christmas record. I buy like maybe 2 or 3 Christmas records every year, so looking forward to hear her do these Christmas classics. Run Rudolph, Run Rudolph, Christmas Tears, Blue Christmas Lights, Santa Claus Wants Some Lovin', Have Yourself a Very Merry Christmas, Marble Mouth herself, love her stuff. Oh, and then I got 2 of the 4 new, I ordered 3 of the 4, but the Horace Silver hasn't come in yet. Another blue cover, a lot of blue stuff going on right here. I think we're in our blue period in the vinyl community, and this is more of a funky record. Kevin Gray cut these as usual. These are the reasonably priced Blue Note Classic series, and this is Donald Byrd, Places and Spaces. I remember this when it came out. I never heard it when it came out. It's one of those records that's been sampled by a lot of hip-hop artists and other artists in later years. So this is from the 1970s. And Art Blakey, jazz messenger with a great Lee Morgan. Lee Morgan smokes on this. Wayne Shorter, of course, Bobby Timmons. 2 new fantastic, I know this music, haven't heard them in a while, but the classic series are always a good value, anywhere from $20 to $24 for a audiophile, somewhat jazz record. I did a Whack-A-Mole at Amoeba Records. You need to check that out. And 2 records I got are Grouper. She's out of around Portland, Oregon itself. Very lo-fi, a lot of loop pedals she does, effects, kind of folky, so low, I want to say low vibe, but lo-fi, that's the word I'm getting at. Think about her records, and they never have hype stickers. I know she's minimal, so you don't want to hype yourself, but I want to know who the fucking record is. If you saw the video of, I almost missed this one. This is a brand new Grouper record. I mean, you have to have a magnifying glass to see it's Grouper here. Haven't listened to this. This is a brand new record, just came out this month, actually. It's called Shade. And look at how beautiful it is. That's got to be the Pacific Northwest. So beautiful. I'm so excited to listen to these. Her records are art pieces, but again, they're so minimal. Reminds me of 70s Neil Young, where you have something like this and you can't friggin' read it. Come on. Let me read. I can't, lyrics or who's on it. And I mean, I get the minimal artistic statement, but let us read your friggin' records. Let us be able to see your records. Artsy fartsy, like what are you talking about? But I love Grouper. I love her music. So there you go on that. So thanks for watching. Oh, one last thing. A CD box. Those of you who watch my channel know, coming to San Francisco's answer to the Beatles were the Beau Brummels, B-E-A-U, because in the bins, it would be right under B-E-A-T, right after the Beatles, the Beau Brummels. And this is a UK box. This is curated, compiled by Alec Palio, Bay Area curator, very much like Andrew Sandoval in LA, who did a lot of work for Rhino and the Monkees, and a wonderful job of repackaging and packaging. And this has everything, the entire output of the Beau Brummels, except for the 1975 reunion album. And they're in replica sleeves, remasters, of course, because everything has to be remastered, right? I haven't looked into I read the whole book yet. Wonderful book of the Beau Brummels. There you go. Beau Brummels brought about by Tom Donahue, who was the father of FM radio, started KMPX and KSAN in San Francisco. He was a DJ at KYA, and then he started underground radio KMPX. And the first album was produced by Sly Stone. Yes, that's Sly Stone. Laugh, Laugh, I Thought I'd Die was a big radio hit. It was sort of America's answer to the Beatles in a way. Beau Brummels Volume 2. They're on Autumn Records initially. Then they got signed to Warner Brothers. Beau Brummels 66 is not a very good record. It's them attempting some covers. Interesting, weird concept. Interesting, but not great. Triangle, very kind of moody, psychedelic, dirge-like. Bombed. Bradley's Barn, a record I adore, but it also bombed. Came out in 1968. Very close to the release of Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds, and very kind of all these bands these two bands especially crossing over into country rock. Owen Bradley's Barn outside of Nashville, Owen Bradley produced Patsy Cline, and really great. Beau Brummels, the Autumn Demo Sessions. Sal Valentino and Ron Elliott, the two main songwriters of the Beau Brummels. And I just heard that Deck Mulligan, one of the original members, just passed away recently. And Deck used to come into our record store in the Inner Sunset in San Francisco when the Reunion album came out. And my friend Vernon and I and Deck would go to the Abbey Tavern, this Irish bar in San Francisco, and drink. Beau Brummels singles, A's and B sides. And is that it? I think that's it. So, fantastic collection. I had to order this from the UK. Maybe you can get it locally. But if you're a CD person, and I do like to occasionally show the compact discs, this is a perfect example, even though I have a lot of these records, not all the extra B-sides and all the rarities, but I have these on vinyl in some cases. But I'm a big fan. Sal Valentino would go on to start a group in San Francisco called Stone Ground. My friend Coleman was a good friend of Stone Ground. John Blakely, who played guitar, who played on that record. And there you go. What a great, interesting, unusual voice with Sal Valentino, and great band, Beau Brummels. So thank you for watching, and thanks for following on my journey. If you haven't, go check out that Whack-A-Mole at Amoeba Records. And Mazzy definitely loves some of you. Not all of you, but some of you. Take care.